An over-reliance on cliches and metaphors is kind of like being stuck behind the 8-ball.
This is Yeti at Large, a channel focused on making the most out of what you got, no matter where you're at. Now that you're here, let's go.
The other day, I overheard somebody talking about dealing with stress and anxiety, something I'm no stranger to. And they told me that somebody told them to just take baby steps. And that really got me thinking about all of the metaphors and cliches that we hear in our lives. A metaphor is just an implicit comparison, and a cliche is a trite expression of a common notion. Now, any metaphor or cliche, they'll break down if you push them hard enough, but there is some contemporary truth that can be found in them. Highly perishable because they definitely don't hold up over time. That being said, I really got to be thinking about all of these cliches and metaphors I've heard over the years. Take a moment, look back in your life. Think of all the times that somebody, whether they were being critical or supportive, used one of these metaphors or cliches on you. How many times do people tell you to keep your chin up, keep your head down, keep your head in the game, keep your eye on the ball, keep your hands on the wheel, keep your mouth shut and your ears open. Keep an ear to the ground. How many times were you told to get in the driver's seat, to buckle up, to hit the gas, to shift gears, to check your mirrors, to pump the brakes, to bail out? So many times people would tell me to go the extra mile. Walk a mile in somebody's shoes. You need to burn some shoe leather. You gotta burn the midnight oil, but you don't burn bridges. You need to play the long game. You need to know when to stand still, and you need to know when to run. There was a time people would tell you to put your back into it. Use some elbow grease. Bend a knee. Do the heavy lifting. Have broad shoulders. You need to do the leg work. You need to stand on your own 2 feet. You need to offer someone a hand. And you need to carry your fair share of the water. I remember people telling me, you gotta smell a good opportunity. You should focus on the finish line. You gotta keep the faith. Don't let them get in your head. Don't fight City Hall. You should lean on a friend. Give yourself a break. Hey, sometimes you gotta take a leap of faith. And the last one, and the one we're gonna focus on today and really break down, is you need to take baby steps. I believe many of these cliches and metaphors can trace their direct ancestries to the parables of ancient times, or even to the copybook headings that Rudyard Kipling spoke about. We did a reading of Kipling's poem, The Gods of the Copybook Headings, on this channel early on. I think they're meant to inspire someone to a level of virtue. And virtue is nothing more than the utilization of the many facets of knowledge as well as practical wisdoms for a means to a moral and resourceful existence in the absence of vice. So to take baby steps, it really means to be careful. So what people generally mean by taking baby steps is to take it slow, small steps. You're trying something new for the first time, and there's nothing wrong with that meaning. However, where it breaks down is when you really look at it, that a baby has no experience, no history, and they certainly have no objective with their steps other than to get them done. They're typically aiming towards someone who's going to catch them and make everything all right. That's not what we're dealing with in the real world as grown-ups. We typically have an objective and we have experience, even if we are trying something new for the first time or if we're in uncharted territory. It's realistic to think that any one of us could wind up in a position where somebody may tell us to take baby steps. A new job, promotion, retirement, moving, new city, the death of a spouse or a loved one or a partner. There's so many situations where we could be just riddled with fear and anxiety and the fear of the unknown. And so the sentiment of baby steps would make sense. But if you think about it and really break it down, I settled on something totally different. The belly crawl. So you think about that metaphor for the belly crawl. You're well trained. You've got experience. You're actually fairly sharp and competent. And you're bright enough to know that you're going into an unknown situation without a guaranteed positive outcome. So there's danger. So you get low. Inherently, a belly crawl is slow. And you're down on the ground protecting all those vital, soft, squishy bits. And you're making sure you're staying safe and working towards your objective. We're just having a little bit of fun playing with words, dealing with a subject that could be very serious. You might be in a position in life where you're dealing with a lot of change or loss, and it's creating stress and anxiety of the unknown. You might be in some uncharted territories, and you may have people using some of these cliches and metaphors. Maybe it's criticism, maybe it's an effort to make you feel better, but likely it's meant to give you a new frame of reference, to give you another practice and habit to help you move forward. Consider trying to make small incremental decisions when they come available. It may not fix the whole issue, but it may clean up small sections of it enough to give you a little breathing room, another metaphor. At the end of the day, consider that concept of the belly crawl. You're skilled, you're trained, you have an objective, and you're protecting the vital organs, the stuff most important to you. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us at Yeti at Large. Please leave a comment down below and let's have a discussion. And after all, don't forget, it's a dog's life. Thank you. Somebody wants a cookie. Think about those times told you people to keep said with them. What's in it for me?